May 14th. We are live at the New York stock market morning session, pre-market right now, 25 minutes before the open. I'm glad that you can join us and hope you're doing well. All right, so Peter's on, Marquise, Armin, George, Vic. All right, so excellent. Peter's on. Thanks for dropping in, gentlemen. And I'm about to, let's give us a look at news. George, you said there was no news this morning. Let me see for Wednesday here, today, 14th. There is no red news. There's red news in Australia. That was it. There's an FOMC member that spoke, but I guess it wasn't anything dramatic. All right, so crude oil inventories are up at 10:30, but that's just yellow news.
I'm on YouTube, and it says that Trump is going to be speaking here shortly for some sort of signing ceremony.
Oh, interesting. Okay, there's nothing here on the news about that. So shortly, Mr. Trump will be chatting away. Okay. All right, so let me take a look at the US dollar versus the Euro US dollar. So this US dollar is in a little bit of a down mode right now. So a little weakness on the US dollar in comparison. The US dollar is on top. Euro is at the bottom. The euro moves in the opposite direction of the US dollar. And so it's a good barometer to see. So they typically meet in the middle and then spread away from each other. So right now you can see that they're starting to come back to meet again. So it's something like that where they come and meet again. So we're in a downward mode, or I guess I could do it that way. In a downward mode for the US dollar right now. So a little weakness in the US dollar. Okay, taking a look at the NAS, I'm going to go up a little higher here on the daily to see. So we're in a very strong mode on the NAS on the daily. So looking at our daily candles, it gives us kind of a little bit of a hint as to what we could expect today. The previous three candles, or the previous three daily candles are here. They're also right here, of course, but I got a bigger picture of them here. So the middle candle opened and went down a little bit, and then took out the previous high and closed very high up. Now the current candle just opened, and a very tiny wick, and then it's moving up. It's already taken out the high of yesterday's candle. So we could expect further moves to the upside based on the last two candles. So where would we be going to next would be the question. So we have equal highs right here. So let me just mark. I'm just going to mark that with a line here. Since we have equal highs, I would look at those as the low-hanging fruit objective, in the short term. But we do have a high up here that we could stretch for. But that might be a stretch, of course. And that's a long way up right now. So just go for the low-hanging fruit. So dropping down to the 4-hour, you can see we kind of went sideways here on the 4-hour.
Market's open.
Okay. 1 hour also sideways. So very much sideways up here. And on the 30-minute, again, very much sideways. We're trying to push to the upside right now. So let me go to the 15. Okay, so I'm going to mark off my first 15-minute gap that I've got, which is right here. Closest ones. And I've got one here. So we are in a fourth wave. All right, everybody see? We got 1, 2, 3 bottom. We've pushed up. We're chopping up and down. And so our objective would be to go up and take out this high. All right, so that's where we're looking to go to. Now we have to get on the train, get a seat to get a ride up there. So let's see if we can do that. We'll go to the 5 minute here. I'm trying to go to the 5 minute here. There it is. Okay, so on the 5 minute, we came down into this gap here. And now we're pushing to go. So we want to take out this high up here. And you can see that it's already doing it for us. So we're already getting there. So we've got our structure. It looks like we just swept the lows just by a tad. So let's see if we can get on this, get a ride here. So there's our structure. 1, 2, and 3. With a second 1, 2 in there. All right. And now if I drop to the 1 minute time frame, that's what it looks like. Okay, so we're mashing it up quite a bit. So we did sweep the lows. Let's see if S&P did that. S&P did not. So we have clear divergence here, right? So that was something that happened yesterday to us as well. We had divergence on the S&P. Here, it's taken a little bit to do. Okay, so it's taken off on me. Wow, that's
okay. I got my first one out.
That's good that you got in. So I'm jumping around here, but I was hoping for a little bit of a retrace perhaps before we went, but they're not doing that. So
it opened.
We might still get a retrace here. So I'm going to look for about a 50% retrace would be really good. So if we can come back down into this area here, I don't know if they will or not. But that was the expected move there, that we would go up. So you can see S&P. S&P is doing it now, so it's ready for that to give us that pullback already on S&P. Trying to. There's quite a gap there on the S&P. You see the NAS is not giving us any pullback at all, but S&P just gave us that. So I could have jumped into the S&P here, but I like playing the NAS more so, but that was an opportunity right there on the S&P for a play right there to catch that move. So I did not do that because I'm watching the NAS as well and looking for them to pull it back, but they're not pulling it back. So they just pulled it back on the S&P only. So that was the opportunity for an entry. So we are the simple 1, 2, 3 traders, the S1, 2, 3 traders, the 1, 2, 3 traders. What we're looking for is a low, a high, a low, and we number them 1, 2, 3, and it's similar to Elliott wave, which is a 1 and a 2 in Elliott wave. This would be a 1 and a 2, and then we ride the third wave to target. So we're looking to enter in between points 1 and 2, and to get a retrace back to point 3 in and around the 50% area. So that's our goal. And we look for an entry to take a trade to the upside here. In this case, this is called a 1, 2, 3 bottom. And there are also 1, 2, 3 tops. And 1, 2, 3 top would be a 1, 2, a low, and then another high. And so we look for a retrace back up into a 50% area. In this case, it did not do that. It doesn't always go to 50 to 62%. Sometimes it does it more often than it does any other retrace area. So that's why we look for that So that is our 1, 2, 3. And we look for targets up in the 1.618 area of extension from the number 3 point. All right, so that's our method, our model, our system. Okay, so NAS, you can see NAS is not giving us any pullback whatsoever. So if I look at this from the 15-minute time frame, this is what I was expecting. So because I've got a 1, 2, 3 bottom, so this is our structure. This is our base structure that we look at. I get this move to this upside. So once price pulls back, I'm looking for them to come back and take out this high right there. And that's basically it. So we get the pullback and we come right back into this gap. This is a gap from the 15-minute time frame. It's a much wider gap actually. And then we come back into that area and we're looking for an entry to take out this high. So had I been a little quicker on the draw, I might have caught that move. So what we got in here was a 1, 2, 3 right here. So that's our low. This is our high. This is our low. And that would be an entry in that area to catch the move. So it was a much nicer setup on S&P. Much nicer setup on the S&P. Here at this point here, it's a 1, 2, 3 as well. And they did pull back into the area. And that gave us the move. It's also, again, a 1, 2, 3 here as well. So we got double 1, 2, 3, which is ideal. All right, so that was the play for the morning right there. That you could have been done and gone back. I could have been done and gone back to bed, George.
Well, I had my target at the 21,404, the current high that it just made. So I grabbed 120 handles.
That's great. Excellent. That's
I got in quite early.
Yeah, this was a very perfect, like it's almost a perfect setup there. So very nice. So this is my first gap after the open. There, I believe. Yes, this is a 930 candle. So my first gap after 930 would be right here. So mark that off and keep that one. So we could come back and touch this gap again. That's possible. There is a higher gap here, and we've touched that one. So they might just stop it at that point here. Okay, so I don't really expect them to come all the way back down here. If it's possible, but we'll see. Okay. So I did make it to 3 mil. I'm just going to show you guys here on my account. So, and I've had quite a run since yesterday, since my last loss yesterday. So my latest win was at 12,000 on the net on Bitcoin. I held on to that last night and got out. So I'm at 3,015,389 dollars. So again, starting off with 100,000 back in October. I made it to 3 million before the 15th of May, which was the goal, to see if I could get 3 million before the 15th, and I did it. So really glad. And I've had quite a winning streak here again. I haven't lost since yesterday. And you can see that I just trying not to lose. And there's my last loss, $677. So I've had quite a win streak here. I haven't kept count, so I'm going to count it for the first time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 7,500. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 to 5170. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29.
When you get
30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 to 1292. 40. 40 in a row. Awesome. So I need another 19 before I can break my old record now, right? So 40 in a row, pretty good. Well, we did come back into that gap, George. Wow.
Came back to the second gap down.
Yeah, so that's what I thought maybe we could come back into. So let's see if we can get a trade on here, because we've still got room to go up. So let's let me see if I can catch this move. So based on our overall move here, we're actually completed our structure. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this pullback take us up again to take out this high. So that's what we'd be looking to do at this point, because we have a 1, 2 down here, 3, 4. So can I take advantage of that move? And it's too slow again. I'm just not fast enough here. I was trying to get my second chart going, and it's not cooperating. Okay, so it's pretty close there. Let me see if I can do it. Let's take a trade right now. I've got a fractal, and
Yeah, you do.
so I'm jumping in on the fractal. My stop would be below the low, and we're looking for them to continue back up and take out this high up here. See how S&P is doing. S&P is going already, and so S&P came right back into that gap as well.
It came back in again.
Oh, we dropped down, so I would have been stopped out there. So yeah, I could see that it's a possibility that they could do that. I could see that on the S&P that there was a possibility that they could take that low out. Okay, so are they gunning for these equal lows first, perhaps? Possibility there. That would mess up our structure completely here. So don't want to see them do that. But it looks likely that they're trying to take that low out. So not good if they decide to do that. I see Bitcoin's getting quite the ride down all of a sudden here. So let's see why Bitcoin's going down so much.
Do we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom on the Bitcoin 1 hour?
On the 1 hour? So there's Bitcoin chopping up and down, took out the highs. Now we're getting this retrace, taking out the lows. So Bitcoin is on the hourly. Let's see. A 1, 2, 3 bottom.
Well, let me look at my chart.
Looking for that bottom. Holy.
Let me go to my chart here. Yeah, we did have a 1, 2, 3 bottom. 25, 05, 12, 1900 hours.
So you're referring to this 1, 2, 3 bottom over here?
It looks different on mine. It looks like a 1, 2, 3 bottom, a 1, 2, 3. Yours is yours just doesn't look the same.
I'm not sure where you're specifically referring to. So,
well, the number 1 point is at 20, 25, 06, 12, 1400 hours. Maybe my chart's not right.
Not exactly sure where you're referring to. So on the hourly on Bitcoin, I have a large 1, 2, 3 here from 12 o'clock yesterday. And not even yesterday. It's a long time ago. Let's see. That date is the May 12th. Is that the one you're referring to? The one at May 12th? At 1400? Is that the one? Yeah, it must be the one you're referring to. Yeah, so that's quite, yeah. So there's a 1, 2, 3 bottom there, yes. So what it's done then is this move up has given us our structure, and now we're creating another 1, 2, 3 at the currently on the 1 hour. And so when we look, this would be a good entry to go back up and take out the high over here. So that would be the play I would be looking for there. So Bitcoin is going down because it's creating a new 1, 2, 3, and it's right in the sweet spot area as we speak for a play to the upside. So it's dropping down to the 5-minute. We're right in that sweet spot area. We've taken out all the lows. We've taken out everyone now. So there isn't anyone left to take out. So this might be the low point here on Bitcoin. So I'll look for a play on that one as well. And looks like NAS has put me in some drawdown. Quite a bit of drawdown, interestingly. So the structure, they're not giving us another leg up first before they came down. So they're coming back straight down. So Bitcoin is setting up for a
what are they looking for?
Okay, so with NAS, so yeah, I didn't put my stop in. I should have been out of that trade. I should have put my stop in at that point, and I would have been out. But that's okay. I still see what they're doing. So what they're doing essentially, let me go back to the 15 real quick. Let me get rid of this guy. Okay, so we've got our structure move. They took out the high. So now remember our structure is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we come back down, we're doing ABC. So we're coming back, taking out these guys, which we have. We've taken out these guys. And so we're going to be looking to turn around again. We've got a gap there to go back up. It's just that on the last leg there, that we didn't get our structure playing out. Maybe on the S&P they did. Let's see. No, it's the same on the S&P. So interesting. Okay, so on this last leg move up, I would have expected them to go one more time and then give us the drop, but they instead came straight down, taking everybody out. So that's fine. That's just a tricky way of doing it. S&P. So I would be looking here on the S&P for one more push up, but they didn't do it either. And so they give us the 1, 2 here. So we should be basically in the point of being done turning around now. So yeah, they come all the way back down into this gap way down here. Interesting. And on the NAS, they've taken these guys out, but on the S&P, they have not. So Yeah, that's the difference right now. So again, we're getting no, they have not either. So we wouldn't expect them to come back down into this area. So we should be turning around at this point here to go back up. So I'll withstand a little bit of drawdown here. Not the greatest at this point, but I'll look to enter again, going back up. I'll add to my position. They could be going to take out the lows one more time though here. So let's see if they do.
It's actually looking that way, Lennox.
Yeah, they might just do that one more time. So let's see if they do or not. But there is a gap down there that we came into, so that might be enough for them. Yeah, might have been enough there. So it is a bit choppy. But it's still possible they can come and take the low one more time. Because again, now our structure is the opposite way. So our structure is 1, 2, 3. So we would expect them to take the low again one more time. So that's a possibility. So if not, then we're coming straight back up. But I think more than likely they're going to go back down and take the lows one more time here. So in the interim, I'm going to watch Bitcoin, see if I can get a ride on Bitcoin back to the upside. And Bitcoin's already moving quite quickly. So I missed the opportunity on Bitcoin. So here's what Bitcoin looks like on the 1 minute. It's a similar pattern. See that I just drew? So Bitcoin, they gave us the 1, 2, 3 top, very large, dropped it down, came back in, dropped it again. So this is what we could expect on NAS, that they could do that one more time, possibly. So with Bitcoin now, I would wait for a retrace here to jump in to go. Okay, so back to the NAS again. All right, so they're coming back. So let's see how far down they come. Will they take out the low? We might get divergence with S&P. See. So you remember that if I go to both charts at the same time, you see how the divergence can play out. Here we had divergence at that point, and this one was lower. So this was divergence on the S&P and the NAS. So that gave us that move to the upside. So at this point here, we could also get divergence possible. So you see they're coming back. So one of them might not break the low and the other one might. So which one, we'll see which one does. Well, they both look like they want to break the low. So this is where the patience really comes in. If you can see your structure and you see this move down and they start going back up, you don't want to jump in thinking that they're going to go, because our structure is not complete. So you want to see them take out that low first and then look for that turnaround. You can wait for that entry at that point. So neither of them are taking out the low yet. And Bitcoin's doing a similar thing. So Bitcoin could come back down one more time and take out the low, or they're done. So I'm just kind of looking for the 1, 2, 3 bottom on Bitcoin right now on the 1 minute time frame. So which one will take out the low first, if either of them will? So my expectation for a quick move back up to take out the highs did not play out. So this is where a stop would have saved me from this drawdown had I put one in. So I didn't put it in thinking, oh yeah, I'm good, it's going to go, and I was wrong. But because I know that my structure is still looking to go back to the upside, I'm not panicking out of the trade. It's not good to be in drawdown in any case, but I'm not going to panic out at this point. So I can still catch it to go back up again. And
Okay.
there we go. So the NAS has taken out.
Getting close to getting to the bottom on the NAS.
NAS took it out. S&P did not. So S&P still could. We'll see.
I don't think NAS is done yet, to tell you the truth.
It might go down one more time.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Or not. So they're trying again to go back down one more time, possibly.
Yeah, they're still trying.
I'm going to buy some more here just to see if I can mitigate my loss. Let's see if we can. They might not go back down any further, so I'll take the chance at this point on a fractal break. See if we can go back up right away, but they could come back down one more time to take the low. So we're getting divergence with S&P. So the S&P is a little stronger, but not by much, not by a big amount. So by looking at both S&P and the NAS, you can get the divergence play that they try to trick everybody with. So let's see if we can get a nice push back up now without coming back again to take that low. So Bitcoin in the interim, I'm trying to watch both. Bitcoin came right back into the gap that was looking. So that would have been a nice entry on Bitcoin to go here. So just missed that. So you got to be really quick sometimes. And when I'm playing, like I say, I'm always just playing one or the other. So I'm either just on the S&P or on the NAS or on on Bitcoin. So I'm not jumping around. It's which one is setting up and has the best looking 1, 2, 3 is the one that I'm interested in. So to try to catch both of them sometimes is very difficult. You have to be quite nimble. We're getting a nice push back to the upside here, so hopefully get me back into positive.
We're still kind of in accumulation mode. It's trying to get out of it and go north, but it hasn't finished that.
Yeah, we need them to break this high.
Yeah, that would be the nice point, to break that high.
And then we can get a retrace back and then a go. So that's kind of what we're looking for here. So Bitcoin's leaving the station really quickly. There I'm back to break even almost. So what I'll do is once I get into positive, I'll I'll close my position because I look for the retrace.
Okay.
Well, that was quick. So I'll take that right there.
Yeah, okay. So I guess you got out right at the same point that I did.
Yeah, so the drawdown was, dramatic there. So I wanted to get out with a positive. So I think I might have squeaked out with, I got 1,200 out of that move. So not bad.
Now it's retracing again.
All right, so now wait, look for the retrace, and now we can enter properly again if you want to continue back up. So that's the play. We do have a gap right here, and there's an inverted gap here as well. So we look for, so they've already come into the inverted gap, so that might be sufficient for them to go here as well.
Still kind of playing around here. It hasn't decided that it wants to just head north yet.
That's our time. Okay, so we're at 10 o'clock. So we're in the algo.
Yeah, we just hit the 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we're in the algo mode now. So
But
let's see if they come back in. That might have been it. That might have been all they're going to give us there, that little pullback. Wow, that was quick. So I was kind of expecting them to come down a little bit more, but they're not.
this is not looking like an algo at this point.
Not yet. Okay, here we go. They're coming back again. Oh, and let's see if they'll come a little lower into the gap. I would look to buy it again. To go back out. So they're giving us a couple chances to get in, so that might be it. Twice they've hit the inverted gap. See if they do it a third time. Third time's a charm. But again, you have to be really quick sometimes, and the stop placement in here is a bit high because you don't want to put your stop below this wick here. So to get in here, so that's quite a distance really. So you can always lower your lot size, your contract size, position size. So will they come back one more time?
Yeah, they're still playing around. They're trying to move higher, but I guess they need some more.
Oh, I looked away there. I'm playing around on Bitcoin. Okay, so they did touch it a third time. So I missed it just by that much. Just by looking away for a split second. That was quick. So I've got 3 monitors going here. I've got my iPad. I've got two large monitors. And so sometimes I'm not always on the ball here. So do they come back one more time? So we can nickel and dime a little bit in here, but this is the area we want to get an entry. So if I look at 50% area, it's right in that, right just below the gap. That's 50% of this move, and 50% from this point takes us just a little right into that green area right there. So that's why I was kind of waiting for them to come a little deeper into this gap, but they're playing around a little bit here. So I'd like to see them come around the 50% area, but they might not. So they're either going to just take off, or we get another drop down into this area. That's why I'm being a little particular. So that another touch is good enough. And again, they came very close.
Yeah, there's a lot of volume here at these price levels.
I'm being a bit too particular, I think, about entering here, but. So that might have been my last chance. I'm watching Bitcoin because Bitcoin is doing a similar. So I'm looking for Bitcoin to, well, they're coming back again. So they're looking perhaps to take everybody out that bought.
They're still trying, Lennox.
Yeah. So lots of buyers in here right now, right? So they can come down and take everybody out and then take off. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Bitcoin is similar. Looking for Bitcoin to drop one more time back into this area. So they did it once, but I'd like to see them do it again. Take that low out, and then that would give me a nice entry to go. And it doesn't mean really that I'm safe there. They could still come down and take this low out one more time, because this was very quick. So it's possible that this is the real move that they're going to do and come down one more time. But so that will be the risk I would take at this point. So here we go. We're taking out that low. And so I would look to buy on a fractal now on Bitcoin. So again, they might come all the way down and take this low out. That might have been their ploy. Or we'll hold into these. There are two gaps there. So there's another gap right here. So we're coming into the second one. They're touching that. So I'd look for a fractal now, or I could just jump in on that wick. So now I'll buy it right there.
Okay, we just went above VWAP on NAS.
Oh, so yeah. See, I go away on Bitcoin, and then I missed the opportunity on NAS again. So there it is. So they did do what I was expecting. They came right through to 50% into this gap right there, and that's what I was expecting. That would have been the buy to catch this move out of there. So there they go. So that's all we're looking for, and that's our 1, 2, 3. That's the move right there.
Well, it still hasn't gone into the real positive move upward. It's still contemplating whether it's ready to get out.
Well, you notice how they take these guys out here, and how quickly, once they touch, they're gone. So they're not giving anybody much of a chance to get in. And so now they might give you a little bit of a pullback here, but it will continue going. So if you get a bigger pullback, you might get another chance to jump in if you wanted to, but they might not come back at all. They did. They came back and touched the larger gap from a higher time frame here, but looks like we're heading out.
Yeah,
so this was what I wanted to catch.
Was still in place. Martin wants to get on, Lennox.
Oh, I thought he was on with us. Oh, it was Marquise. I'm sorry, Martin. Marquise came in. Yeah, I see Marquise William. I'm thinking Martin William, and you guys have almost the same name. So that's the move that's a great entry.
Okay, now it seems as though we're solidly above VWAP line.
Yeah, there's the move that yeah. So by going away and going into Bitcoin, I missed that opportunity, because trying to do both of them at the same time can be tough sometimes. All right, but that's okay. So at least you get to see exactly what I'm looking for in any case, right? So they took the low out, so that's the sweep there, and then we look for them to sweep this high. So that's why when I was in drawdown, I'm feeling confident that we're going to come back, so I can add to my position down here. Then they pull back. I'm looking for them to come back down to at least 50% of this move, 50% of this move back. And so they did. They came back into the 50% area, which is into this gap right there. And that presents a buy. So you have to buy it like right away. You can also wait for the fractal break, but that puts you way up here for your buy. So
good morning, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Martin.
Good afternoon, Martin.
Sorry about that, Martin. Marquise had come on. I thought your names are so similar.
No problem. I'm still fumbling with that team system, and sometimes I just get lost.
Okay, no problem.
What are they doing now?
So that's they're giving you another chance to get in. So let's see if I can take advantage. I'm just going to buy it right there. So they're giving you a chance to get in now. So let's see if we can take advantage of that.
Okay.
So I wasn't expecting them to come back again that deep, but they have. So quick. So that's what I like to do sometimes. Just take see, I had a quick $1,000. I take that quick $1,000, right? It adds up by doing that really quickly. So I'll do that, or I'll just take a partial and let it ride for a while. So let's see if I can get back into positive again here. So if I'm wrong here, they're going to come and take this low out, which we don't want to see at this point. That I could be wrong here, right? They could come back down, take this low out, and continue back down again, which would be really bad. But so they've come right back into the gap area, which is a little interesting here that they come back so deep. So they're giving everybody another chance to get in if we're going to go. At this point, let's see what S&P is doing.
The game is right now.
See, yeah, so they are going back down to take out the lows. You see this?
I think so.
It's a trick. That was a nice trick. See, they've got 1, 2, 3 here, and what they did was just chop it up and down in a fourth wave. You see that?
Yeah.
Very sneaky. And so they're taking out the lows, which we just did. So will the NAS take out the lows as well?
No, the NAS didn't take out the last fractal that we had.
All right, so there is divergence again. You see, so they're very sneaky. So they divergence is huge here with the NAS and the S&P. So quite interesting that very sneaky play. So all this was a fourth wave chop on the S&P. And then they dropped it down one more time to take out the lows. And so now we could expect them to possibly go here. They could still go down one more time, but looking like we have some strength here in the NAS. So let me go back over to yeah. So we're getting a little bit of strength there. So, and they did the same thing with Bitcoin on me.
Okay, they're again trying to move above VWAP on NAS. They are above it, but we don't have a close
yet. I'm
yet.
taking a quick partial here because I'm getting that nice move out now. So that was a very nice little trick they did there with the S&P and NAS divergence. They do that quite often and mess everybody up. And this was one of those times they were doing it. So let me get rid of this guy. So there's a nice push out. So I've taken a partial already. That's quick play. Look to see if we can take out the high and give us another retrace and a go. So a continuation. So that's what we're looking for. And we have a gap forming somewhere in here, maybe. Inverted gap.
It's in a way fall on the 1 hour chart.
Yes, on the hourly time frame, yeah, we're just sliding sideways. You can see that we're just chopping up and down. So we're looking to get out of there and continue up. So if I go to the 15, you can see that we've just been all through Asia last night there, right? We've just been chopping. And so this is the move here that should take us out. We already made a move up and taken out this previous high. So now we're looking again to go back up and take out the current high. But that would be
just went below VWAP again.
They've already swept everybody out.
It's you know, in all this, it still hasn't really been a convincing up move yet.
Not yet, no, not at all. So we're in a bit of a kerfuffle in here.
Almost looks like wave 4 type action with a slight upward.
There's our structure. They sweep, they come back, they sweep. We dropping down. Now we're looking for this move to get us out, but they're kind of playing around in here a bit too much for my liking.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
So S&P again took out the low. So now you see S&P is forming a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So if they do come back and take this low again, which is possible, then we're going a little further. But otherwise, we can turn it. We're looking for them to take the high rather than going back and taking the low again, because they've already swept everybody out. So there shouldn't be any need for them to come back down anymore. However, they can't, right? So let's see if we can just get this move out and up. And this will be an entry opportunity on this pullback. They put me into drawdown on Bitcoin.
That's quite a bit of divergence then between the S&P and the NASDAQ.
Yes, quite the divergence there indeed. So you can see that quite pointedly. Big, huge divergence here. And if I go to the S&P, very much so. So we could see, whoops. Siri's talking to me here. Siri, you scared me to death.
Yeah, she's eavesdropping on you, isn't she?
Yeah. Wow. That was scary. All of a sudden, this voice out of nowhere. Yeah, and where I am right now, it's it's 7 o'clock in the morning and it's dark, and all of a sudden, this voice out of the abyss. Okay, so they are kind of playing around a little bit here. We can see another drop coming, so be aware of that. Possible one more drop
just
here.
Just touched VWAP again from the bottom.
Oh, I haven't looked at Tesla. I'm sorry there, Peter. Should have been looking at Tesla for you here. So Tesla, they swept, get a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So we're on our way again to the upside to take out this high. So that's what they're doing on Tesla real quick here. So here we had a 1, 2, 3. They opened up high, dropped it back, took out the high. Now they come back in, take out the low, and now we're going back. So we want to take out these two highs up here. So that's the ruse. Of course, they can play around, but that would be the trajectory to take out the highs on Tesla.
There's a 1, 2, 3 bottom on the 1 minute Tesla.
So I was talking to Armin yesterday, and he was asking me what I thought my thoughts were on Tesla. I said, well, more than likely we're going to open up high this morning, and yeah, sure enough, we did open high. Not dramatic, but we did open higher than we closed. So we closed at 333.94, and then we open at 342. So yeah, that's 8 points. That's quite a bit, eh?
Yep, that's a lot of moolah.
Yeah. So my take on Tesla here is that they look like they're gunning for these highs up here. We could see them pushing to that level, and today's Wednesday already. So can they make it by Friday? Possible, but we shall see here.
What do you see on the 1 minute chart?
That's just where I was. And if I put that back, that's what I'm seeing there, where we should be going back up to take out the highs. But they can mess around in here for a little bit because we're in the fourth wave.
It's still stuck in this fourth wave movement.
Yeah, so is Tesla in the fourth wave, so they can fool around in here a little bit first before they push it back up. So be aware of that. But there is a gap here. We're right into that gap right now, and they're going through it. Now they could just wick here. But trajectory is to the upside. Right. So back to the NAS. How we're doing here? Okay. So they're playing games in here, eh?
They're still playing games on the NAS.
It looked like we were going to go.
Looks like they really want to. Well, they could go down and break the prior.
Get rid of some of this stuff here.
A fractal. Let's see if they're going to try that. It looks like they're gunning for that prior fractal.
So they've swept the guys in the middle here. So we could be done now, and we could be heading back up. Don't want to see them take this low. So S&P, very choppy here on the S&P.
Yeah, well, we still haven't convinced everyone that it's move higher time. It looks like we're going to take out that prior fractal on the NAS.
Yeah, they're really playing around here. We'd like to see them go.
Oh, they really are, yeah.
So we're at 22 minutes into the macro, and we're not getting much going on here. We're just kind of stuck.
The macro is non-existent today.
They're trying to get out, but it's a struggle.
Okay, so far it didn't take out that prior fractal.
Let's see if we can take out the highs here.
That would be nice.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my position up here. Once we get to above the high or very close to it,
Which
if I
high
can
are we
get
talking
1,000
about?
out of it. Maybe not.
It's still, I mean, it's gotten
Okay.
positive enough, but it needs a good push up. It's still not convincing itself yet.
Yeah, I took the profit off because it's too choppy, and they're even struggling to get above. So I'd like to see them go above and then give us a retrace, and then maybe that might be an opportunity here. But they did not go above that high, so I'm gonna.
No.
This is my low. This is my low. This is my high. So I'd like to see them break this high here. This is our first. This is our first gap from this morning still, and we can't get through it.
ATR volatility is high now. It's not, it's in the caution area, I should say. VIX is only 18.40, so it's nothing. But they're waiting for something. And on the trader, there's a lot of volume north of here.
Marquis said Trump was supposed to be speaking. I don't know if he did speak or not, or what.
I didn't see that. So Marquis is into a good.
Sorry, Marquis?
I've been running errands. Had to go to the doctor real quick and drop something off at the school for the kid. But I'm back.
Have you did Mr. Trump say anything of any consequence that the market are doing?
From what I can tell, it said they were supposed to be doing like a signing ceremony, but then they switched it to I think the hearing on RFK, and now it's then they just switched it to like Trump speaks on the middle President Trump Middle East visit, yada yada. So I don't think it was. I think it was more like prompt two, and maybe they assumed he was going to speak, and they just didn't want to get caught off guard. But yeah,
Okay.
just a little bit more disorganization.
All right. So they finally did break above the previous high. So now I would see if they will come back again. Give me another opportunity. So this would be my 1, 2, 3 at this point that perhaps will finally take us out of here. But it's been pretty sloppy. Let's see how S&P is sloppy as well.
Lennox.
Yeah. So we on the S&P because we swept the lows here. We've got a 1, 2, 3. We get another 1, 2, 3. But this one was not able to take out the high. Then we get yet another one that this one took out the high, but we didn't close above it. So this is still weak here. You know, they need to come in. We need to get a closure above one of these highs to get some strength. And, you know, they could come back and take this low out again before they even do that. So a lot of playing around in here right now. And it's kind of indicative of a fourth wave still, that they could still be chopping it up and down. They could still come down one more time. So just be careful here. It's a bit tricky. A bit dicey still. So, okay, so we did go above. Okay, they did close above that high, so that's good. Finally, so it kind of solidifies our low here now. So now it looks like, okay, we've got a solid 1, 2, 3, but we could still take out these lows. They could still come back like that, take out those lows, and then we could get this move. So if they do that, I would buy again right in here. That's why I exited my position, because I'm expecting them to come back again into this area. So, but now that we've closed above the high, this presents.
We haven't closed above that immediate high there.
Not this one. No, not yet.
That's the one I'm looking for them to get above, and then I could be a little more assured that they are ready to move. We're back to VWAP.
We're getting a pullback here, so let's see if they're going to take out these guys in the middle. Let's see if we can drop back into this gap. Where is this guy from? From over here. Get rid of that. Just clean up my chart a little bit here. All right, so do they give us another pullback to take out these lows one more time? That would be a nice opportunity here if they do pull back. Well, how's Tesla doing? So Tesla came down quite a bit. So they came down a lot more than I would have expected with Tesla. So they're very sneaky here. So they give us the 1, 2, they go up, and they've come back into this area, which is not so good. But they're trying to get out now. So. But them coming back into this area is a bit disconcerting when they do that.
Yeah. I'd like to see them try to assault that high that you were showing them. If they do that, then, well, here we go. Let's see what they're going to do this time.
We need a pullback first.
They don't have enough oomph behind them.
Yeah, we need a pullback first.
Right now, they're sitting on the 200 SMA for the
So
last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles.
we've got a number of
8 candles.
buyers under here. So
Yeah,
we're looking for
there are
them to come back
buyers.
down one more time.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Got
slow
1,
motion,
2,
a little
3,
patience
4,
here.
5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 9 candles up and down from the 200 SMA right now. Okay, we just got rid of 15. Get rid of some of these others. Oh, there's a 17. Oh, that disappeared.
They're looking to push out without coming back. Wow, interesting. So that means they don't want to give us a chance to get in.
Well, it's not
They're
quite
gunning for those highs.
that good yet, but I'm looking for him to break that high that you talked about. That would be nice. That would give me a lot more profits.
I'm a little surprised they didn't pull back first. They still might.
A lot of buyers still present and pulled back and grabbed onto some of that stuff. They're still trying to jockey for who wants to gain the advantage.
S&P's got a nice move going. So they didn't give us much of a pullback here. Interestingly, same thing on S&P. We had a gap here, but they just basically just skirted the boundaries of it. And now they're leaving. So could still expect a pullback. It's still possible.
If I pull
No,
my
we
limit down, it
swept.
would catch it and then go flying above it.
Well, they swept the high here on S&P, but that's all they've done is sweep it. So we can still come down.
Okay, they
and
just
see.
went under VWAP again.
These guys are all in jeopardy here. You know, we could come down and take everybody out again. It's still looking that way. That's a possibility. This is a
Yeah,
very choppy area.
the only problem is that there's a lot of buys and sells. They're sort of equal in value, right around the exact same area that we're in. You know, well, my handle is different from yours.
So there we go. We did get the pullback like I was expecting.
Yeah.
So they swept these guys out. Now the question is this enough for them and we can go, or are they just ploying and they're going to come and take these guys out as well? So if they do that, then we're going down to take out the lows. So I've got a 1, 2, 3 here, and that's controlling the move, and we're just chopping up and down in here. So it is possible this is just a big fake out and we're going to go down and take out the lows one more time. That's a possibility. So I'm a little bit hesitant about jumping in to go long here.
Yeah, that's really a tough one.
Yeah, it's a little bit messy for my liking here. This is more indicative of a fourth wave type affair going on here. So we could see a move down. So can I sell this? Yes, but it's messy. So it's a tough one. Kind of an interesting predicament here. So we can go either way at this point. So now they can just make a 1, 2, 3 top, and we could come down, or they're just going to leave and take off. But we see we couldn't break the high, so it's showing weakness. But S&P broke the high, but yet they didn't break it to close above it. So with the S&P, we broke above the high, but they just wicked it. So there's weakness there. So that's why I'm kind of thinking we're going to fall here. So let's go up higher.
It's more skewed to the downward motion, but the thing is that there's still pretty much the same number of buyers and sellers right around this area that it's sitting in.
Yeah, this is very messy kid stuff here. Yeah, they're doing a lot of accumulation right now.
Yeah.
And manipulation. Yeah. So possibility of us falling further before we go higher.
Yeah, there's still a lot of.
So you have to be a little careful here.
Want it down here.
Tesla's trying to move out, but it's a little bit of a battle. So you can see S&P is starting to come down again. So they've swept these guys out. So we're getting a 1, 2, 3 this way. That could propel us down to take out these guys here.
Well, a NAS has been showing a flat VWAP since 10 o'clock Eastern time.
I'm liking this more for a sell at this point now than a buy.
You don't have any positions on that?
No. This would be a sell, I think, at this point, but it's a bit iffy, so I'm kind of staying out of it. But yeah. My expectation would be that we're coming back down to take out all these lows. That would be my expectation at this point. This is very, very much of a chop of a fourth wave that they're playing in, and so now we get a 1, 2, 3 here, and that should take us down. I think that's the ploy that they're putting on here. If I'm wrong, then we're heading out. This would be the 1, 2, 3 that takes us out, but it's looking more like it's the 1, 2, 3 that's going to take us down. So.
I drew a diagonal on the lows, and I'm still good. Okay, here we just went through that diagonal. Let's see where it's going to close.
Yeah, it's definitely a tempting sell, like I said, but yeah, and they're taking it down.
There we go.
So they're taking out that low. So next, we take that one. If you're not sure, it's best to just
Still a
stay out.
lot of, yeah. We got a lot of buy activity coming in. But the sells are still holding on also.
That's a sweep there. So not convincing yet that they're going to come down, but it is a sweep.
Because they're signaling now that they want to go down some, catch some more lows. Okay, they've moved through my diagonal.
Yeah, very tepid.
Yeah, see, the problem is I've got equal number of buy orders and sell orders here, which are adding up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like it's about 100 buy orders and 100 sell orders, and they're just lopping away at them bit by bit. But as soon as they do, more come in.
In the interim, while we were looking at this, I made a quick play on Bitcoin here to the upside, and just pulled off. Let's see, 2,500 on this move up, just real quick. But you can do that. They come all the way down to the bottom here, and they give me a fractal, so I just jump in, take a quick ride to the upside, and they sweep the high, close above it. So everything's looking good here, that we could get a retrace. So that's why I take my profit off at this point, because I'm looking for a retrace now and then a continuation. So Bitcoin's setting up quite nicely. So typically, let me just make this bigger so everybody can see. Typically, we get a sweep, then we look for another sweep. This one especially. And then we get this
Marquis
move
says
up.
Trump is starting his talk now.
Oh, okay. And looking for a retrace. So these guys are could be in trouble here. So anybody who bought here could come back in and take them out. So looking for a retrace on Bitcoin to get another buy here. But these are just quick plays. All right, so let's go back to the NAS. So that you see, they're not coming down with much vigor either, and they're not going up. So we're kind of stuck. And that's why I was a bit hesitant about buying or selling at this point, because it's a little iffy, but I would expect them to come down.
I'm going to mute myself.
So we're in a dilemma area because we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom and we have a 1, 2, 3 top. So which one will it be? I'm expecting this to sweep out all these guys here. And maybe even these guys. So Bitcoin giving me the pullback and we're looking for. So looking for them to take out the lows in here. Oops, lows in here. See Tesla again. So Tesla is just playing around. Not giving you much opportunity in Tesla either. Same kind of thing. We're just stuck. So the Tesla is looking like they want to take that low. We've got a 1, 2 here. And they're just chopping it up and down. So likely scenarios that they're taking that low because we came in so low into this area. That is a likely scenario that they'll take that low. They could even take this low as well, back into this gap. So this is all patient stuff here. So for those on YouTube watching us, this is all for educational purposes only. We do not expect you to take our trades. We do not recommend that you take our trades. Again, we are the 1, 2, 3 traders. We're just looking for 1, 2, 3 tops and bottoms. And then we're looking for an entry in the 1, 2, 3. We're looking for entries in the 50 to 62% retrace area between points 1 and 2, and then looking for targets. And your target can be the previous number 2 point or higher. And I like to go to the 1.618 expansion. That's my MO. That's my model. So let me give a good example of a 1, 2, 3 setup here. That would be looking for 1, 2, 3 bottom. Here's one, and there's a 1, 2, 3 top. So if I did the 1, 2, 3 top, and I put the fib on fib expansion. So this is our 1, 2, 3 top at this point, and so I'd be looking to exit this trade at around the 1.618 target area, which is right there. So that would be my exit. But there's a whole area of exit opportunities right up 1.272, 1.414, 2.0. You can exit in that. That's a whole area. I prefer the 1.618. And then we look for a retrace of our 1, 2. So this is our 1. This would be the highest point. 2 is our lowest point. And 3 would be the next highest point back that does not take out our 1. If it takes out our 1, even by a tick, then it nullifies the 1, 2, 3. And we look for this move. And that's our model. Very simple, very straightforward. We can add in gaps and order blocks and all that kind of stuff from ICT, but you don't have to. It's not a necessity. We're just looking for a retrace to point number 3 back around 50%, ideally. You can use gaps to help and so forth, but it's not a prerequisite. You can use order blocks to help. It's not a prerequisite. You can use breaker blocks to help. It's not a prerequisite. That's all fluff. To keep it simple, you just look for 1, 2, 3s that go back into 50% area. Marquis, you're saying you're on YouTube. You're saying it doesn't look like it's live. Is that so?
Yeah, it looks like it may be pre-recorded. It's jumped to like 3 different parts so far. So yeah, I think this might be an old one, or it may have already happened.
Oh, that's not good. So it is nothing live right now, you're saying?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Hmm.
Also, it's showing daytime over there when it's not. So yeah, I think this may have been pre-recorded.
Interesting. I don't know if Vic is hearing us or not. Vic, maybe you can double check if we are streaming still.
No, I mean
live.
the Trump news, the Trump stuff.
Oh, the Trump you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about us. We're not streaming on YouTube.
No, I haven't checked on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking that you're talking about that because you said you were watching it on YouTube, so I thought that maybe you were referring to the stream. Okay. All right. So that's our 1, 2, 3 top there, and so if I looked at a 1, 2, 3 bottom, it's the same type of thing. So I would put there's my 1, 2, my 2, my 3. And the 3 could be this low or this low. It wouldn't really matter which one you used in this case. Let's use this one. And then again, let me take the first one off so we don't get confused. All right, so then I'd be looking for a 1.618 target, which is right there. But again, you can go up to 2.0 anywhere in that area. Even getting in at this point, you could use the number. So there's our number 1 point. This is our number 2 point. This is our number 3 point. So you could use the number 2 point even as a target. So even if you went to 1.0, which is right there, that's a good target as well. So it all depends on, how much, you feel confident about this move. When I'm playing, I'm quite confident that we'll make it to 1.618, so I go to that level and even higher. So it's just a matter of how confident you are in that 1, 2, 3. So that's our model, and that's simple. That's why we call it the simple 1, 2, 3. All right. So okay, so they did not break to the downside. So they're really playing around here, eh? Wow, interesting. So let's see what's going on. So they're coming back. So this is the first gap from the opening this morning, and it's been holding as resistance here for quite a while. We just managed to close above it just once, and now they're pushing out. So quite interesting. That's why I was hesitant about going long or short here, because it was very choppy and messy, and I wasn't convinced that they might be done going down. So now we'd have to be, if you really want to play now, we could look for a retrace to go in. So they did just sweep here, get a 1, 2, 3 here, and we get this move out. So we can get a retrace of this guy. That might present an opportunity for us to get in. So they're showing their hand now, as it were. I can mark off this gap. Can we come back down here? Possibly, right? There's also a gap here, which was partially mitigated. Ooh. And we get a retrace here. Let's see how S&P did. S&P has not taken out the high yet. So a little difference there. See how Bitcoin did. Okay, Bitcoin is taking out the high. They did not come down low enough for me. I thought I was expecting them to come and take out these lows in here, but they did not. So looking for Bitcoin to take out these lows, and they did not do that. So they've taken out the high. So getting a 1, 2, 3 at this point. So back into this gap, that would present a buy to continue. Let's see if that is so on the 5-minute. It's precarious. You can see Bitcoin's a bit precarious because as much as it looks like we could certainly take a move out, it also looks like we could fall back down one more time, take out these lows. Okay, everybody see that?
I closed out at 200 handles.
On the NAS?
Yeah.
That's pretty good there, George. Very good. You're
I'm
playing
just
around
not sure
in
where this thing is going now.
you're playing around a dangerous area there.
Yeah.
So with Bitcoin, I've got a 1, 2, 3 top here. So right away, when I get a 1, 2, 3 top, remember that your structure points to us taking out this low. So not wanting to go long here now because of that. Once I go to the higher time frame, the 5-minute, I can see that the ploy here is to come back up into this area here. There's a gap, and they just kind of skirted it. And then we would looking to come back down, take out these lows one more time. So I'm looking for them to come back down, take out the low. So this could be a sell at this point. So how would we sell that? That's, again, technically speaking, you could do it by waiting for the breach of the low, then a retrace, and then continuation. That's the more conservative way of doing it. Had I seen this earlier, I could go in on a fractal at this point right there. That's the best entry of all. But waiting for the retrace back up is also workable. So I'll put my gaps in. Got a gap going here. There's also a gap on this side. So I'd like to see them take this low first, but they might not. Go back to the NAS. Let's go higher on the NAS. So the NAS, remember we were looking for them to take out this high up here. However, they kind of messed us around, and all this chop in here, they're starting to go towards that high now. So it could be done, and they weren't going to come back and take this low again. S&P still, it's not giving me a comfy feeling here that they're going to go higher right away. Still looks,
yeah, they could easily do that.
It still looking like they want to drop it down. So there's something, they're messing around here. This is not indicative of a move that should take us higher. So I'm a bit skeptical. S&P is giving me more of a picture of us falling one more time here. So let's look at the NAS again. So they've gone up higher just to induce the buyers, it looks like. And we could certainly come flying back down here. I'm going to go to the 15. Yeah, it's pretty messy. So I don't know if they're holding off because Mr. Trump is speaking or what the story is going on here, but yeah. Quite interesting here. So I'm not buying this to buy. I'm not buying their story to buy here. This is still very much a fourth wave to me. This whole area.
Yeah, it's just so messy.
Yeah, it's very messy. So when it's messy, we're looking for a clean move down and a retrace, and that's when it's clean. It's nice, especially when you get this kind of clean. That's when it's really nice. But they're chopping this up. So when they chop it like that, the expectation is that the last low is in jeopardy. This case way down here. So we could be coming back down to take everybody out. But it's just a matter of, okay, how can we catch this move? And it's still a bit precarious because you're not giving us any clean looks at this point. It's like you're a baseball player, you're up to bat, and we're waiting for the perfect pitch, you know. And you of course you're always swinging for home runs, but you know, if you get a single, it's all good. Okay, Marky, what are you saying? This should be it.
So it looks like he's speaking now.
Okay.
This one, there's 22 hours. Well, I don't know. With Trump, it seems like they always want to just put live for views, but you can't. Then it's hard to find the actual one.
Hmm.
So remember to see the actual one. This one has like quite a bit of views though. So
okay. So remember with Bitcoin, same kind of thing. We've got a 1, 2, 3 drop. So I'm expecting them to take this low out. So any moves up is just to fake everybody to go long, and they're going to look to come back down, take out this low. So we want to catch a 1, 2, 3 up here to come down, ideally. So on the 5 there, go back down to the 1 minute time frame. You can see they're just sort of chopping it up a little bit here. And we could get a sweep here and then a retrace and a continuation down. So that's a more likely scenario here for Bitcoin rather than a move back to the upside. So I'll be watching for those. So I'm looking for a 1, 2, 3 top here on the NAS as well, and as S&P, and you see S&P is really pushing down now. Okay, so Tesla must be doing the same thing, and yeah, they're pushing down. So you can see Tesla has a 1, 2, 3 top here. So Tesla has given us the look already to go. So that was a 1 ABC. They dropped it. They chop it all up. Now we get a 1, 2, 3. So we're heading down to take out the lows, and maybe this low more than likely as well. So the chart over. Yeah, that looks like a likely scenario here for Tesla to take out these two lows here. Because we have equal lows here, basically. So that would be in the sights. All right, so I think I've missed my opportunity for Bitcoin to get in. Yeah, they're going very fast. So they didn't even give me much of a retrace. So we get that move down, they come back in very, very quickly, and then they're off. So I was looking for a little deeper retrace here, but not happening. So they're gone, and they're going to take out this low. So you have to be quite nimble sometimes to get in on these trades. But if you can see the structure, then you can play. But it's very difficult to play in the fourth wave. So this one is the ideal play because it's a lot more easier to see than to play this leg. So there we go. We've taken out the low. So that's what I was expecting there for Tesla, and so that played out. So if you can see this before it occurs, you have a fighting chance of getting in and making some money, but you have to be able to see it. So now they've taken out this low, we would expect them to take out this low. And then at this point now, we'll be looking for a 1, 2, 3 bottom to come back up. Because the overall trajectory for Bitcoin is to the upside. So I believe it is. Let me just see. Yeah, it has been. So there's the 30-minute. Let's go to the hourly. So this is the controlling 1, 2, 3. So we've had this move up. So we're looking for them to come and take out this high. However, we're inside a fourth wave chop. So they're playing around in here, and we're looking for them to come back up to take out this high eventually. But we have to get a nice seat in here to do that. And in the interim, you can play in here, but it's dangerous because it's a choppy area. It's a manipulation area. And that's how you get chopped up.
For sure.
So now that they've almost finished here, I think they've taken the low now. We could look for that.
They have another low that they could be shooting for. It's about, let's see if I can figure out. It's about 50 handles below this one. Goes back quite I think I pulled it off the daily.
There really isn't anything else for them to come down to. There's an order block here, but it's been, there's nothing really here. I think this low here should suffice. There is another low there, like you're saying, yes. But will they take that one? Maybe. They're very close to it right now. So it is possible that they might be done. And that would suffice for us to get a turnaround on Bitcoin. So let me go down the time frame. So we've swept everybody out now. So I would be looking for that turnaround at this point. So they've swept this low. Yes, just by a tad, but that's enough for them to. And it looks like they might still go a little lower. So we do have a 1, 2, 3 top, and then we drop. So again, we can expect one more drop here possibly to occur. And sometimes you don't get it, but that's what we would expect. So let me just make this a little bigger so everybody can see what I'm referring to. So we do have a 1, 2, 3 top at this point, and then we drop. We swept the low. So at this point, everything's pointing to a move back to the upside, right? But it's a fake most of the time because our structure is not complete. So they're more than likely going to come back down, take everybody who jumped in prematurely here.
My 30-minute says that we're still in wave 4.
Then we get this. So yeah. Which one are you referring to NAS or are you referring to Bitcoin at this point?
NAS.
Okay,
sorry.
yeah, I'm on the Bitcoin, so we're talking about two different things. So let's see the NAS here. Okay, so the NAS, yes, we're still in the 4th wave. So it's again, very choppy, messy kid stuff. Yeah. Whenever you get chopped like that, you're kind of in the 4th wave and you have to be patient and wait. That's why I was hesitant about playing buying or selling in here because they're chopping this up so much.
Exactly.
And I was caught once and I didn't want to be caught again in any more drawdowns. So, all right, so we're getting that move. Let's see how the S&P looks. So you see what they've done here, right? S&P has done exactly what we're expecting them to do. So there's our structure. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for them to take out these lows down here, and they've done it on the S&P. So it gave us a 1, 2, 3, and they've dropped it down. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 here, and we dropped it. So we could see them come back down one more time to take this low, just like on Bitcoin, and we get a 1, 2, 3 to come back up. So if you can be patient, we can get a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom here to go back up. But you see how the difference between S&P and the NAS, if we can get the NAS here, you can see the difference. The NAS has not taken out these lows, so we're getting divergence right now, right? The NAS has not taken the lows, so there's some divergence. So if I let me go to both charts, and you'll see what I'm referring to here. So there's S&P taking out all the lows. And there's the NAS not being able to take out all the lows. So we're getting quite the divergence happening. The divergence is quite pronounced at that point, right? So the question now is, do we come back down one more time to take this low out? This is what I would expect. But we could get divergence again. So we could get one of them taking it out and the other one not. So if we do get divergence here, then you want to jump in on whichever one you want, whichever one you like to play, as soon as one of them decides they're not going to, or one of them decides they're going to, right? So I'm not sure if I'm making any sense to anybody, but that's kind of what we'd be looking for here. So I'm looking for another retrace back down to take out these lows. That's what I'm looking for right now. So is that playable? Yeah, you could play it, but the better move is to catch the 1, 2, 3 bottom to come back up, because that will take us way back up. But this is definitely playable to the downside. So you have to watch to see which bottom is taken out. On the 1 minute, let me just see if I can catch a move down. So they come right back into that gap, this gap. There's a similar thing going on with Bitcoin. You see how they've really manipulated. They come down, they drop it, they sweep the low, they come back up. So they entice a whole bunch of buyers to jump in here. So lots of buyers coming in, stops here. So everybody's feeling pretty good right now, but then they can come all the way back down and take everybody out. So they're either going to do that, or I'm totally wrong and they're just going to continue going. But at this point, we're coming back into this area. We should retrace. That would be my expectation. I could be wrong. My expectation, you have to have an expectation, but you can be wrong with your expectation. So you always have to be flexible and ready to change your mind, change your thinking, change your analysis. So I'm expecting a retrace. Will they take the low? That's what I would expect.
Yeah, we're now back above VWAP on the NAS.
Yeah, so they've ridden this way up. So I'm still looking for them to come back down.
At this point, I think I'll be satisfied with what I have.
Yeah, if you had over
and not
200
attempt
handles
to
there.
lose it.
Yeah, that's a lot of handles there, George. So they really push it back up. S&P. So S&P is much more indicative of what we were expecting because they took out all the lows. So S&P will be more inclined to give us the truth here. It's telling us the truth. So I would still be looking for them to come back down to take out these lows. But now that we've moved up so much, maybe they won't make it all the way back down. They'll just kind of go from here. So it's possible that we could get divergence of some kind with the NAS in here. So still looking for a retrace. That's our time. Oh, we're 15 minutes after the hour. Okay.
Yeah.
So another day is done. Another morning is done. So you know what I'm looking for anyways, the possibility that we'll come back down, take out these lows. And this is a very enticing sell. You know, could sell this to come down. That would work, I would think, at that point. And I'm just going to see here. I get a retrace, a little bit more retrace, just a tad more. Yeah, I'll sell it there and to see if we get that drop back down. So my stop would be above the high at that point. We'll see if we get the drop. So they're going back up a little higher. So they could take that high out one more time because they're mean. Let's see if they do or not. If they don't, then that gives me a nice little 1, 2, 3 to come down. S&P similar. And we drop straight down here. So I would need them to break this low. Looking for Bitcoin to do similar, but Bitcoin's come up quite a ways into this area. So they've gone about way above where I expected them. I thought we would turn at this point and come back down, but they've gone back into and above where I expected them to go. So this is showing a lot of strength here. So we might not get a back down to take out these lows. They might just come back down a little bit and continue on Bitcoin. That's also possible on S&P and NAS, but we shall see here. So we did get a drop down, taking out the low. That's a good sign. So let's see if we can continue going down. They're not in a hurry. Those Tesla fearing. Okay, so they came very close to taking the low, but they did not. Interesting. So see how they took out this low, but they didn't take out these equal lows, relatively equal lows down here, and they've gone back up and taken out the highs already. So they're saying, okay, we're good, and so we're looking for a retrace again in order to continue going up. So it looks like they're going to leave these guys alone down here for whatever reason, but would have thought they would have taken out these lows here for sure, but did not. And it looks like I'm just sliding sideways with the NAS up here, so it's not going down as I'm expecting very quickly. In comparison, Bitcoin is going down much quicker. So that's what I'm expecting the NAS to do as well, but it's taking its time. So now the question with the Bitcoin is, do they come and take the low, or do we just go halfway and turn back, right? So the reason I'm saying that they might not take the low is because they've come back and violated my structure. By violating my structure by coming back into this area. Once they do that, then that shows a lot of strength. And so the likelihood of them coming all the way back down to take out the low becomes very low. And yeah, so that strength could propel us back up quickly here. And so NAS, yeah, playing hardball, same kind of thing. So they've come back up into my area here. So had I had a stop here, I would be out, right? So I'm still looking for them to drop it. So that's why I didn't put a stop on. See if we come back. So I wasn't expecting them to do that, but that's just mean they sweep these guys out. So can we come back through again? Yeah. So if not, then I will suffer the loss at this point and put my stop above the high here. So that's a swing point right there. So they'd have to take me out at that level. I hate losing, so we'll see if we can drop back down again one more time here. S&P looking pretty strong here. Bitcoin still going down. So I'll go another 8 minutes and we'll call it a morning. All right. We've got lots of gaps in here. So that might be it for Bitcoin, and we could go back to the upside, or they can still drop it down a little further here. So still a bit iffy. Still looking for NAS to drop it down a bit. Very close to taking me out there. Might be in trouble. This will be my first loss in a while if that happens. Looks like I'm going to be dead here, unfortunately. Wow. So I'm surprised at this move because I'm really expecting them to come down like Bitcoin did. So there's a lot of strength here. So we've swept these guys out. And then we're moving up without coming back to take out the lows like how the S&P did. So very interesting. The S&P is telling the truth in the sense of our structure. It told the truth, took out the lows, and then is turning around, giving us a 1, 2, 3 to go back up. So it still looked possible that we could come back down one more time, but they're saying no, we're not. We're going. There's a lot of strength here. So maybe whatever Mr. Trump is talking about is buoying us to the upside, and that caused me to suffer a loss here because of that. I'm still thinking that we could have come down one more time, but they said nope.
Lennox, I think that the talk that Marquis was talking about is really not live now. So I'm looking at this action as all price action, regardless of whatever the news has been doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's certainly lots of strength now all of a sudden in the market. So we're turning, you can see even Tesla was pointing the way and pushing back. We're not getting much of a retrace either on Tesla, so it's
No,
very strong.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, when I look at my 30-minute chart, it's almost like a wave 4 that's in a slight megaphone.
Yeah, well, we're pushing back now, so we've swept this high now, so they're gunning for these highs. It looks like we have a 1, 2, 3 at this point, so looking like we should make it there. We could see a pullback still, but we're still heading to those highs. But S&P did the structure the way we were expecting it to do it, and then we're getting that move to the upside. So we can still see a pullback before we go, but looking pretty good there for a continued move. So Bitcoin also, I jumped into Bitcoin to go long now because there doesn't look like they're going to be pulling back too much in here, and then we could get a push back to the upside. So our structure is complete on Bitcoin. Swept the lows, got a 1, 2, 3 now, and looking to push out to the upside. So I can make my loss back from NASDAQ pretty quick here on this move. So if we can break the high, which it looks likely here. So I can make my loss back pretty quick. I'll take that, take some off and make my loss back real quick and then continue on. So I hate losing, but sometimes it unfortunately does occur. So I have a little red blemish on my record here. So I almost made it all back, 1,200, 1,600. And yeah, we'll continue on and see if I can string another 30 or so wins together. So yeah, at this point here, a very tough one because the expectation was that we could come down one more time into this area before we get this move out. And I didn't know for sure if they were going to take this low or not, but you can see the strength here is very strong, eh? So they're not even giving us much of a retrace. I would have at least thought they would come back and take these guys out here, but they're just going. And Tesla was bearing the strength out. Tesla is really moving, not giving us much retraces at all. So very strong market right now. S&P, again, very strong, taking out the highs already. So there's our 1, 2, 3 on S&P. But because, again, because I had a 1, 2, 3 here and we just dropped straight, there was a possibility that we could come back one more time, but there's too much strength. All right, so we are almost at the half hour past my time. So had some nice, the nice looking trade on Bitcoin going right now. So I'll look for a target way up there. So I can put target to here or to the highs. I'll put it up to the highs. That's the daily high up here. So I'll go for that daily high, and I'll just keep moving my stop up to protect profits as we go.
Thanks, Lennox.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anytime, every day. So thanks everybody for dropping in. And again, for those on YouTube, this is all for educational purposes only. We don't expect you to take our trades. You do that at your own risk. Give us a like and subscribe to our channel if you like us. Appreciate that. All right, everybody who's here today, thank you.
Take care now.
Marquise, nice to hear you.
All right, thank
Martin.
you for having me, gentlemen.
See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah, take care.
All right, take care.
Martin, I'm going to give you a ring right after, if I may.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Yeah.
And George, we'll see you tomorrow.
Take care now.
Take care.
Thank you.
Peter, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.